The entire thing is basically an active excavation site.
Discovery made headline news all over the world and really sort of captured public imagination.
And there was this giant stone head gazing back at
the pile of bones. You put her here, and all of a sudden you could see that it was a living person.
Drone discovers gigantic human skeletons buried in the Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert, known for its scorching heat and endless sand, holds incredible secrets beneath its surface, from ancient human skeletons to dinosaur fossils. Mysterious patterns and discoveries have puzzled scientists for years, revealing a hidden world that once thrived in this vast, unforgiving landscape.
Elusive creature.
Stone Age mass. Graves reveal Green Sahara. In a surprising discovery in Libya's Sahara Desert, archaeologists have uncovered 20 Stone Age skeletons, some dating back to 8,000 and 4,200 years ago. The burials in and around a rock shelter paint a fascinating picture of how this place was used for generations. Marianne Tafuri, a co-author of the study, describes the site as a place of memory where people continued to return over millennia to bury their dead. In this graveyard, around 15 women and children were laid to rest inside the shelter, while 5 men and juveniles were buried outside under giant stone mounds called tumuli. This burial site proves that ancient cultures adapted to climate changes, as the region was much wetter and more fertile thousands of years ago. At that time, the Sahara was filled with scrubby vegetation and seasonal greenery, supporting large herding animals like cows. The discoveries also tell us about 2 distinct groups of people who lived here at different times. The first group, the Kiphians, lived about 10,000 to 8,000 years ago, when the Sahara was lush and green. These people were tall and muscular, and known for their hunting skills. Later, the Tenarians lived around 7,000 to 4,500 years ago, and had a more varied lifestyle, including fishing, hunting, and cattle herding. One of the most touching finds was the burial of a woman and 2 children, their arms intertwined as if in an eternal embrace. Some skeletons were found with personal items like jewelry and even bracelets made from hippo tusks, revealing how these people expressed their culture and traditions. These discoveries offer us a unique glimpse into life in the Sahara, a thriving, vibrant environment long before it became the barren desert we know today. The following find will take puzzling discoveries to an entirely new level of intrigue. And if you enjoy this video, like and subscribe to the channel. Erg Chech 002 meteorite. In 2020, a 4.6 billion-year-old meteorite named Erg Chech 002 was discovered in the Sahara Desert. This rock is one of the oldest known space rocks, and scientists are excited because it could help us understand how Earth and other planets formed. The meteorite is covered in green crystals from when our solar system formed. The meteorite is made from material that was floating around the infant sun in a gas and dust cloud called the solar nebula. Some of this material eventually formed planets. The rest became comets and asteroids. When meteorites like this one fall to Earth, they give us clues about the building blocks of planets. Inside the Erg Chech 002 meteorite, scientists found a special kind of aluminum isotope called aluminum-26. This isotope played a crucial role in Earth's formation. When the planets formed, aluminum-26 helped Earth undergo a planetary melting process. This process allowed heavier materials to sink to the core, while lighter materials formed the mantle. It's how Earth became layered, with a dense core and a less dense rocky outer layer. Understanding how aluminum-26 was spread in the early solar system helps scientists learn how Earth and other rocky planets like Mars and Venus evolved. The decay of aluminum-26 into another element, magnesium-26, also allows scientists to use it as a dating tool for other meteorites, helping them figure out when these space rocks formed. In short, this ancient meteorite is more than just a rock from space. It's a time capsule that could help us tell the story of how Earth and its layers came to be. Just when things seem clear, the next discovery adds a whole new layer of confusion. Stay tuned. A massive crocodile fossil. In Tunisia's Sahara Desert, scientists discovered the fossil of a massive sea crocodile, Machimosaurus rex, that once roamed the Earth around 120 million years ago. This giant was an incredible 30 feet long and weighed about 3 tons. To give you an idea, its skull alone was 5 feet long, about the size of an average person. But while its size is impressive, it's not the real highlight of the discovery. What's exciting is how this find sheds light on a major mystery in paleontology. Scientists have long debated whether a mass extinction event, 145 million years ago, wiped out the reptiles known as teleosaurids, including Machamosaurus. The discovery of this creature provides evidence that many marine reptiles, like Machamosaurus, survived the supposed extinction event, challenging old assumptions about what happened during that time. The fossil was found just below a layer of sediment in an area that may have once been an ocean-facing lagoon. Federico Fanti, the lead researcher, described the creature as massive, almost the size of a bus. Thanks to its huge skull and stocky short teeth, it had a powerful bite, making it a versatile predator. Experts believe it ambushed prey like turtles and fish, possibly even waiting for land animals to wander too close to the shore. While Machamosaurus rex was huge, it wasn't the biggest. That title goes to its relative, Sarcosuchus imperator, which grew to 40 feet long and weighed 8 tons. Known as Super Croc, Sarcosuchus lived around 110 million years ago, prowling riverbanks for its next meal. Tunisia's rich fossil history continues to uncover ancient giants, adding new pieces to our planet's prehistoric past puzzle. And what about the next mystery? It might leave experts scratching their heads for generations to come. Spinosaurus. A century ago, scientists unearthed fossils of a massive carnivorous dinosaur in the Sahara Desert, bigger than the famous Tyrannosaurus rex. This beast, Spinosaurus, had a huge fin-like sail on its back and a jaw nearly 3 feet long, filled with sharp teeth. It was bigger than both T-Rex and Gigantosaurus, and it lived in the swamps and rivers of North Africa during the Cretaceous period, around 112 to 97 million years ago. But here's the twist. The original fossils of Spinosaurus were destroyed during World War II, leaving only a few photographs and drawings behind. For years, paleontologists thought this giant dinosaur was lost to history. Then, Nizar Ibrahim, a young paleontologist who made it his mission to find more Spinosaurus fossils. Ibrahim's fascination with dinosaurs started when he was a kid. He'd seen drawings of Spinosaurus in a children's book, but they were just guesses. As an adult, he followed in the footsteps of the scientist who first discovered Spinosaurus, Ernst Stromer, and began searching the Sahara for more clues. He traveled to the border between Morocco and Algeria, finding thousands of fossils, including bones from crocodiles and flying reptiles. It was like stepping into the most dangerous predator-filled place on Earth. In 2008, Ibrahim came across a familiar box of fossils in Morocco. The bones resembled those of Spinosaurus. His hunch was right. They came from the same dinosaur. He followed the trail to the fossil dealer, who led him to the original site where the bones were found. After scanning them back at the University of Chicago, Ibrahim discovered that Spinosaurus was more than just a land predator, a water-dwelling hunter with a body built for swimming. With its long jaws and paddle-like feet, this dinosaur ruled the waters as a fish-catching machine. Valley of the Whales. In the western desert of Egypt, there's a place called Wadi al-Hitan, or Whale Valley, where some of the world's most important fossils are found. These fossils tell how whales evolved from land animals into the massive sea creatures we know today. This site is like a time capsule, showcasing the transition of whales from land dwellers to ocean giants, with fossils that show the last stages of whales losing their hind limbs. Wadi al-Hitan is the best place in the world to witness this transformation. It's packed with fossilized skeletons of some of the earliest whales, many almost complete. These fossils give scientists a clear look at how these creatures lived and moved as they adapted to life in the water. The valley is a protected area, surrounded by beautiful desert landscapes, and accessible to visitors who want to experience the site firsthand. The fossils in Wadi al-Hitan are exceptional, not just because of their number and quality, but because they're well preserved. The site shows how whales once roamed the land and then took to the sea, leaving clues about their environment behind. The fossils are well documented, allowing scientists to piece together the history of these ancient creatures and the world they lived in. It's been designated a World Heritage to protect this extraordinary site. The land around the fossils is part of the Wadi El Rayyan protected area, ensuring that future generations can learn from and explore this amazing record of life's evolution. With a buffer zone in place, the area is shielded from any threats, including overvisitations, so it remains a safe and protected spot for discovery. The upcoming mystery is proof that the Sahara still holds unimaginable secrets deep within. Let's explore it. Mysterious desert pattern. In the heart of the Sahara, deep in the desert with no towns or roads, there's a strange row of markings stretching for miles. Dozens of these formations line up, each with a central point surrounded by a circle of 12 nodes, much like the numbers on a clock. At first, no one had any idea what they were. We stumbled across these unusual circles in September 2021 after spotting a Reddit post asking about them. With just 2 upvotes and a couple of comments, it wasn't a buzzing discussion. But we were hooked when we saw these perfect eerie circles on Google Earth. The patterns were so precise, yet they sat untouched in the vast desert. We couldn't stop wondering what they were and how they got there. So we decided to take on the mystery and share the journey with you. We turned this investigation into a video documenting everything, from Zoom calls and web searches to vlogs and field shoots. It became an inside look at how we tried to crack this puzzle. We contacted historians, geographers, and professors for expert opinions. When we hit the limits of what we could learn online, we didn't stop there. We handed the story over to a team in Algeria to go even deeper and see if they could uncover more. With every step, we got closer to understanding what these mysterious desert circles might be. And though the answer isn't clear yet, this journey has brought us closer to solving one of the Sahara's most intriguing puzzles: Nabta Playa. Thousands of years ago, long before Stonehenge, a group of people in Africa created the world's oldest known stone circle. This ancient structure, called Nabta Playa, is more than 7,000 years old, and it's believed to be the first astronomical site ever built. Located in the desert of southern Egypt, it marks the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, which also coincided with the arrival of the monsoon season that helped bring life to the Sahara. These early civilizations used stone circles to track time and predict seasonal changes, like when to plant crops. But Nabta Playa wasn't just a calendar, it also served as a ceremonial site, where people gathered to honor the stars and the sun. It's hard to imagine, but this was the dawn of observational astronomy. At this time, people were beginning to look up at the sky, trying to make sense of the stars and the changes in the seasons. While Europe is home to thousands of megaliths, such as the famous Stonehenge, some researchers even believe that the idea of building these megalithic structures spread across Europe from this African site. The discovery of Nabta Playa was thanks to a bit of luck. In 1973, a Bedouin guide came across the site while crossing the Sahara. He showed it to American archaeologist Fred Wendorf, who realized it was not a natural formation. After years of research and excavations, it became clear that this ancient site was far more than just a pile of stones. It was a window into humanity's first attempts to understand the heavens. What's ahead might be the discovery that completely changes everything we believed about history. Let's have a look. Lost Army of Cambyses. The story of Cambyses II's lost army has fascinated people for centuries, and according to the Greek historian Herodotus, Cambyses, the son of Cyrus the Great, sent 50,000 soldiers to destroy the Oracle of Amun at Siwa Oasis. But somewhere in Egypt's western desert, the army was supposedly overwhelmed by a sandstorm and destroyed. For years, archaeologists have searched for the remains of the Persian soldiers, but the mystery remains unsolved. But not everyone believes the sandstorm story. Professor Caper, a researcher who's studied this for years, argues the army didn't disappear due to the storm. He believes they were defeated. His research shows that the army wasn't just passing through the desert. They were heading to Dakhla Oasis, where the Egyptian rebel leader Petubastis III was hiding. Petubastis ambushed the Persian army, successfully reconquering much of Egypt before declaring himself pharaoh in Memphis. So, why has it taken so long to figure this out? Professor Caper thinks it's because of Darius the Firm, or the Persian king, who crushed the Egyptian revolt 2 years later. To save face, Darius spread the idea that a sandstorm caused Cambyses II's defeat. This effective cover-up lasted for decades. By the time Herodotus wrote about it 75 years later, all that remained was the tale of the storm. In recent years, Professor Caper's excavations at Amhida in Dakhla Oasis have shed new light on the story. He deciphered ancient temple blocks, uncovering titles of Petubastis III. And that's when everything clicked. The blocks proved that Dakhla Oasis was a key stronghold during the Persian period. Combining this new evidence with the history of the revolt, Kaper was finally able to piece together the true fate of Cambyses II's army. Tennemer Crater. In the heart of the Sahara Desert, there's a mysterious crater called Tennemer. This crater is nearly a perfect circle, 1.9 kilometers, 1.2 miles wide, with a rim 100 meters, 330 feet high. The surrounding rocks are ancient, dating back hundreds of millions of years, long before dinosaurs even roamed the Earth. For years, scientists debated what caused this crater. Some thought it was a volcano, but a closer look revealed something much more exciting. The crater was formed by a meteorite impact. Moreover, NASA's Terra satellite took a stunning image of Tennemer Crater in 2008. The picture shows a vast, arid landscape in shades of red, brown, and tan, with Tennemer's circular outline visible. The light and shadows make it seem like someone pressed a giant cookie cutter into the rock. The bright arc around the northwest shows where the crater walls slope up to the rim, casting dark shadows on the sides. Although Tennemer sits on an ancient rock, it's relatively young, formed between 10,000 and 30,000 years ago. Once geologists confirmed it was an impact crater, they wondered if it was part of a larger event. Tennemer and two other craters, Temimishat, Galaman, and Awelul, line up almost perfectly in a straight line. A study in 2003 tried to figure out if the same impact created these craters. By analyzing the rock compositions, they found that Tennemer and Awelul craters formed at different times, meaning the same event couldn't have caused them. So, while Tennemer is part of a fascinating landscape, its story continues to reveal new clues about the history of our planet, and the mysteries of the Sahara are still far from being fully uncovered. Sahara P-40 Kitty Hawk. Back in 1942, a lone Curtiss P-40 Kitty Hawk from the RAF's 260 Squadron, with the squadron code HS and the letter B on its tail, found itself forced to land in the remote desert of North Africa, near Al-Wadi al-Jadid. The pilot might have been low on fuel, lost, or dealing with mechanical issues, but whatever the reason, he decided to land in the vast Sahara. The plane touched down, but its landing gear snapped off as it hit the sand. The P-40 slid for over 100 meters, losing its radiators and propeller hub before finally stopping. Afterward, the pilot exited the aircraft, closed the canopy, and vanished into the desert, leaving the plane behind. For 70 years, the aircraft remained untouched, hidden by the sands, or perhaps just in an area too remote to be found, until March 2012, when an oil exploration team stumbled upon the wreck in Egypt. What happened to the pilot? Did he survive the crash? Was anyone there to rescue him? These questions remain unanswered. Squadron records are being searched to determine whether there were any reports of a downed aircraft, or whether the pilot's fate was recorded. What we do know, though, is exciting. The markings on this P-40 are identical to the ones on the aircraft once flown by Canadian ace James "Stocky" Edwards. While the plane is not the same one Edwards flew, it's likely the one that replaced it. If this plane is indeed serial number ET574, it's possible that Stocky Edwards once flew it too. Vintage Wings of Canada is thrilled by this discovery. As if the excitement of finding a famous warbird wasn't enough, this discovery adds a new layer to the story of Stocky's P-40, making it even more intriguing for aviation enthusiasts. Dinosaur bones, reptiles with wings, a creature that looks like a dog but is covered in armor, 11 mysterious species, all with long necks. These creatures roamed the desert 200 million years ago, back when it was a lush green landscape. Today, their fossilized remains can be found in one of the world's largest dinosaur burial sites, located in Niger. But there's a problem. The site is being threatened by shifting sand dunes and looters. Scientists and archaeologists have had to pause excavation work due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the rising risk of Islamist insurgencies in the region. Boubé Adamou, a key archaeologist from the Institute for Research in Human Sciences, called the fossils our cultural identity. He emphasizes that saving lives must come first. Niger, about twice the size of France, is mostly desert, but it's rich in dinosaur fossils. Many bones can be spotted poking through the sand. Paleontologists brave the harsh heat and dangerous terrain to unearth these ancient giants. However, the fossils often end up in Europe or North America, where they're kept in temperature-controlled environments to prevent damage. Thanks to a partnership with the University of Chicago, 2 new museums are being built to house the treasures right in Niger. One will be in Niamey's capital, and the other in Agadez, a desert region. This project is called Niger Heritage, and it's expected to cost millions. International donors, including the World Bank, have shown interest in supporting it. Before the pandemic, these discoveries were already making headlines. In 2018 and 2019, Paul Sereno and his team found 20 tons of dinosaur bones, including 1 massive Spinosaurus. But for now, excavation work is on hold. The fossils remain buried beneath the Sahara, waiting to be uncovered again when it's safe. Eye of the Sahara. The Eye of the Sahara, also known as the Richat structure, is one of the most mind-blowing natural wonders in the world. Sitting in Mauritania's vast, sandy stretch of the Sahara Desert, it looks like a massive bullseye from above. It's so large that astronauts have been able to spot it from space, earning it the nickname Eye of Africa. This giant circular formation is truly impressive at about 25 to 31 miles, 40 to 50 kilometers across. Scientists thought a meteor impact caused it for a long time, but later research revealed that it was shaped by tectonic forces millions of years ago during the Cretaceous period. The surrounding dunes are part of the Erg Udain Desert, stretching across hundreds of miles of barren land with almost no vegetation. The structure rises around 660 feet, 200 meters, above the surrounding desert, making it an even more stunning sight. The center of the eye is a flat plateau of limestone and breccias, with ridges and grooves formed by wind and water over millions of years. The outer layers consist of resistant rocks like quartzite, while softer rocks have eroded, creating those striking grooves. But what makes the eye so perfectly round? That mystery remains unsolved, though scientists have found evidence of molten rock rising from below, leaving unique rock types behind. Aside from its geological marvel, the eye also holds significant archaeological value. Excavations have uncovered tools that are over 2 million years old, linked to ancient human ancestors like Homo erectus and Homo heidelbergensis. The Eye of the Sahara isn't just a wonder of nature and a window into the past, showing us how the land and life have evolved over millions of years. The next story has baffled scientists and left historians searching for clues to explain it. Meroe Pyramids. One of the country's most captivating secrets lies in the heart of the Sudanese desert, the Meroe Pyramids. Standing tall amidst the vast sand dunes and rocky landscape, these ancient structures are a sight to behold. Dating back to around 800 before Christ, this United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization, World Heritage Site, showcases some of the best preserved pyramids in the world. The pyramids are part of the Meroitic Kingdom, which thrived for over 900 years. With nearly 200 pyramids scattered along the Nile's banks, tourists often overlook this hidden gem. Built in the Nubian style, these pyramids feature steep slopes and narrow bases, giving them a unique look compared to their Egyptian counterparts. The area around the pyramids is vast and empty, with nothing but sand and rock as far as the eye can see. Visitors are often offered camel rides by locals, eager to share the wonders of the site. But for those who prefer solitude, the open desert is the perfect place to explore. The Meroe Pyramids hold more than just architectural beauty. They also carry stories of ancient rulers. Inside these pyramids lie the tombs of kings and queens, with intricate carvings on the walls that reveal details of the Meroitic culture. These carvings are a testament to the artistry and craftsmanship of the time. The experience of visiting the pyramids is unlike any other. The vast desert stretches out in every direction as the sun beats down relentlessly. Standing atop one of the pyramids provides a breathtaking view of the Sahara, offering a glimpse into the past and leaving a sense of awe at the history that still stands after thousands of years. The Meroe Pyramids truly are a forgotten treasure, waiting to be rediscovered. Chott el Djerid. Chott el Djerid is a massive salt lake located in the Tunisian part of the Sahara Desert. It's known as the largest salt lake in the Sahara, and depending on who you ask, it might even be the biggest salt lake in all of Africa. Covering more than 2,700 square miles, it's over 1.5 times bigger than Utah's Great Salt Lake. The name Chott el Djerid comes from 2 parts. In northern Africa, Chott refers to a lake that dries up in the summer, but holds some water during the colder months. El Jared is Arabic for palm leaf, named after the nearby region, which has way more date palm trees than people. Now, Chott El Jared might look barren and harsh, but that's part of what makes it so fascinating. This vast dry plain has almost no natural resources, including fresh water, which makes it a tough place to live. But traveling through it is a different experience. The emptiness is oddly beautiful and mysterious. As you drive across the main road, it's hard not to stop and admire the colorful salt deposits and small lakes. Even in the driest summers, these lakes still have water, and the salty water changes color from soft green to pink to bright orange. The lake ends at an oasis filled with date palms, making the scene even more striking. Chott El Jared is close to Duz, known as the Gateway to the Sahara. It's also a popular filming location, especially for movies like Star Wars. The Lars family homestead is located on the lake's northwestern edge, and Mos Espa is just a short distance away. Long before it was used in films, Chott El Jared was believed to be the location of the ancient Lake Tritonis from Greek mythology, the birthplace of the goddess Athena. Things are about to get even stranger with this upcoming discovery in the Sahara sands, Lala Lalia Star Dune. Across the vast deserts, star dunes stand out like giant pyramids of sand. These massive dunes are some of the tallest on Earth, their unique shape created by winds blowing from all directions, causing the sand to spiral outward in a beautiful pattern. While you can find star dunes in deserts worldwide, scientists have always been puzzled about how they form and why they're so rare in the geological record. A recent study of a star dune in Morocco's Sahara Desert has revealed some surprising new details. This dune in Erg Chebi is about 328 feet tall and covers roughly 0.4 miles. Interestingly, the dune's base dates back around 13,000 years, but for nearly 8,000 years, it didn't grow much at all. Most of its growth happened in the last 1,000 years, much faster than scientists expected. The dune is also moving, about half a meter each year. This discovery is important because it helps us understand how these dunes change over time, and how they might impact things like roads or pipelines in the area. The study focused on a dune called Lala Lalia, which means highest sacred point in the local language. The team used radar scans to map the dune, walking across it and stopping every few feet to send radio waves through the sand. These scans helped create detailed images of the layers beneath the surface. They also collected sand samples from different depths to determine the dune's age. By measuring radiation trapped in sand grains, they figured out when different layers of the dune formed and how it moved. This method of dating sand grains helped solve a big mystery for scientists. Why is there so little ancient evidence of star dunes? They've likely been mistaken for other types of dunes in the past, but now, thanks to modern tools, we know just how common they are. The Sahara Desert, with its endless stretches of sand, has hidden some of the most incredible mysteries, including human skeletons that tell stories of ancient times. Each discovery brings new questions and adds to the fascinating history of this vast, harsh land. As more secrets are uncovered, we gain a deeper understanding of the people who once called the desert home. These findings remind us that the Sahara is not just a barren wasteland, but a place full of untold stories waiting to be discovered.